So I just started thinking about breaking like cycles, right? And trying to undo what your parents did to you, or trying to go into a different direction from what your parents did, what harmed you growing up. And I was just thinking that, like, we're all learning, right? We're all getting wiser as we get older, and we're not perfect human beings, right? We make mistakes, and that's normal, and that's how we learn and things like that. So when I'm thinking about this, and I'm thinking about the things and the steps that I am taking as a parent to avoid what was done to me as a child, I'm realizing that I'm doing other things that could be harmful as well. And in that same breath, as I'm realizing that I'm doing other things that are harmful, I realize that that I didn't know that those were harmful, right? I didn't know that, and not only that, but also that it's inevitable because I'm learning, because I'm a first-time parent with my children, right? You only have that kid one time, you only have that circumstance one time. And so I kind of thought about this yesterday when I went somewhere with my daughter, and somebody asked me, what do you want for her, right? And it's interesting because I just want her to be protected, like I wasn't, right? I want her to be loved. I want her to be happy. And the way I go about that is based upon how I was treated growing up, right? So if I were sexually abused, then I would make sure that she wasn't in instances where she could be sexually abused, or I had an open conversation around that, so I could make sure that I was there to help her, you know what I mean? Because that was something that happened to me. Or I was really, I snuck out a lot, or self-harm, or you know what I mean, like all these things that you did as a child that your parents weren't there to protect you, or maybe they did something to you, and then I go the extreme opposite way, and I'm overprotective in that area to like protect my inner child. And while I don't think of it as being selfish, I guess it is very selfish, right? Because maybe if I'm focusing on this area, then I'm not focusing on another area, or maybe I'm falling short in another area. I don't know. I don't really know what my intention was to even record this, but it was just a thought that at least I am constantly evolving, constantly changing, constantly trying to do well, trying to be a good mom, trying to be a good wife, trying to be a good human. But I naturally would want to do really well in areas that I wasn't protected in. And then, of course, I'm going to fall short in others. And that's, I guess, something that, it's good that I'm recognizing and I can continuously work towards. But yeah, I just think it's all inevitable. I think there's a level of trauma that everyone is going to experience. Even when I look at these people that are like, oh, they're extremists. Like, I homeschool my children, and I, don't let them off the farm, and, just very secluded, very, like the outside world is toxic, and there are toxic things, right? And there's also good things too. And anyway, so these parents spend all this time and energy in protecting them from this one outside thing, but maybe they're falling short in other areas like homeschooling. I know kids that have been homeschooled and those that haven't, right? And I could see the benefit in both, but I could also see the downfall in both. And it's just crazy to me that we work so hard to be good parents, but there's still that level of trauma. Like you can't be perfect, not obtainable.